Well, hello, everybody. How are you? It is Dennis and Andy. And no, it's not Wednesday. Don't adjust your clock or your calendars or think we skipped a day because we haven't.
This is
We
not
are
the
just
Twilight
here.
Zone.
It is. We are here today just to, once again, it's a comic book haul, like the title of the stream says. We were in South Carolina for Rob Young, owner of Borderlands Comics and Games annual spring South Carolina COMICON. And of course, while I was a guest and Dennis was down for the ride, along with our buddy Bud Root drove with us, we thought, you know what? We always do shopping. And now it's the comic book haul to show you guys what we picked up at the show.
Here's the funny
Um,
thing. I wasn't going to do any shopping. There really was nothing on my wish list that I needed. So I was like, I don't know. Maybe if something strikes my fancy, I can take a look. One of my buddies, Chad, had sent me a list. He goes, "Hey, I'm looking for a slabbed one. See if you can find one of these." So I decided to go out and do a little shopping. And lo and behold, once you start shopping a little bit, you just keep shopping.
It's like the floodgates open, especially when you hit some good cheap books. JP Roca, hello. Blackjack, nice to see you. Nice Marmot, hello. Nicholas Gear, hello. Val, hello. Blackjack, Randy, Hal, what is up? Blackjack says, well, this got gay quick. It always does when Dennis is involved. It always
And yet
does.
Andy brings me in every time. Just remember that.
Every time. So, anyhow, let's start it off. Dennis, what is your, just without revealing the fronts of any of the books, just hold up the stack so we can see what we're both dealing with. That's what I'm dealing with.
I don't know, something like that.
Oh, damn it. You always seem to have more.
Yep. I always have the bigger stack.
Oh, well, yeah,
Well,
it's
look
not
at
a, it's
Marcus
not
is
a,
there. He was there with us on Sunday. He's already
that's
seen
right.
some of these. He came down to visit. There were a lot of people. We had a lot of great chats and conversations for friends of ours that stopped by. You know, some of the fans. It was great. Lots of people with questions. It was just an all around, absolutely fantastic turnout for SC Comic Con. Plus, I'll be curious to find out if it wasn't a record setter. Man, they were lined up both days, even at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They were still lined up trying to get inside, both in the cars and outside, standing in line. So
That's
it was
right.
a busy weekend.
It was, and the weather was gorgeous. So, all right, let's get to it. You go first.
Well, I'm going to show. I told you my buddy wanted something. So I went and hit up Mr. Hibbs. My buddy Chad wanted, and I always know I get the glare. He wanted a between an 8.0 and a 9.2 of one of his books on his list. He was also looking for some of the Beta Ray Bill stuff, um, Iron Man 200, First Silver Age Sentinel, things like that. But I did find him one even a little bit better than he wanted. Mr. Hibbs gave me a great price on this, so this was a done deal for Chad. He pulled it aside. So this one's not for me. I'll be taking this to Wisconsin when I do go back up there.
Well, there goes the surprise for Chad on what book you picked up for him. Now he knows.
How would there be a surprise? He's the one who okayed it. He's the one who gave me the green light to buy it.
Oh, you actually called him from the show?
I sent him a picture of it, and he had to give me the thumbs
Oh.
up to what he wanted.
Well, I know he gave you a list, but I didn't know if it was just like, get me
No,
something
no,
off
this
this
isn't a
list.
birthday present. He just wanted me to
No,
find one.
I
Dad doesn't make conventions. My God, man.
I know it wasn't a birthday present. And by the way, way to leave the price on so people can see it.
I
Jesus.
don't have a problem. That's a good price on that book. Chris always has good prices on his books. It was $65 is what he was asking. It's a 9.4. That is a phenomenal cover. Wolverine, Sabretooth fighting for the first time.
It is. Now actually show us something you got.
Um,
And I know, and to preface, I know you got multiples of some books. Maybe do those as a batch.
Yeah, I'll try and do some of those as a batch. I am going to show part of the batch, and I'll just kind of start here.
Yeah, that's fine.
I did go Avengers, so I'm starting to fill in holes with my Avengers. Avengers 153, Jerry Conway, John Buscema, the artist, and of course the cover is Jack Kirby.
Of course it is.
That is just great stuff. So there's a bunch of them, and I'm just starting to slowly pull them out of the bags here because I'm going to rebag and board them and put them in with my other ones. And yeah, I got a bunch of. I will go through some of the Avengers here, the older ones, because this is just really. I mean,
now what is wrong? You're going to rebag them, take them out of bags and boards they're already in, and rebag them. What is the point behind that?
What do you mean? What is the point behind it?
Let me see the splash page. Show the splash page.
Yeah, look at the bag. It's all wrinkled and it's got moisture. Why would I want that? I'm putting them in new stuff to put them into my collection. You can keep
wrinkled
on all your stuff.
Wrinkled and moisture. Are you describing your bag or testicles?
Yours.
Because sounds like your testes. Oh yeah, look at that. Little John Buscema, Joe Sinnott. Nice.
Yeah. So I picked up a bunch of Avengers in the run, so I am going to pull some of these out because they're just good. So you show your next one.
Fine, I will. I'll show a gift that a friend of mine got for me. Oh, wait, I got to swap us over. Dan Fraga, I showed him the $3 box. And it was so this guy had a lot of $3 boxes. But on Sunday, it was buy one, get one. So it was $1.50 a book. So Dan Fraga brought me back a friendship gift. Last of the Mohicans. Great cover by Gil Kane. Insides by Sonny Trinidad. Very nice stuff. He's a Filipino artist. Really nice stuff. I will actually read this because I never read the book. So now I can at least say I read the comic. So there you go. That is a book that Dan Fraga Friendship gifted me. So, and it is really nice art and stuff. So
Val wants to know, wasn't that a movie?
Maybe.
Marcus says Fraga is a great guy. He is. Anybody who gets Andy stuff is free stuff is a great guy.
That's true.
That is.
Should I go again or are you going?
Yeah, I'll just show the next one as I kind of get them undone.
Ooh, is that John Buscema as well?
156. Yes, that is, of course, Sal. Pretty much the same thing, only Jim Shooter helped write this one.
Wait, let's see the first page. Come on now.
All right.
Yellow Jacket's on the cover. Yellow Jacket's awesome. Oh, yeah. Bring it down some. I want to see who inked it. Let's see if I can... it's not clear enough. You can just tell me.
Let's see. The inker... Writer Jim Shooter. Artist storytellers Sal Buscema and Pablo Marcus.
Pablo inked it.
Yep. Okay. Because it doesn't actually say it. Jerry Conway plot. Yep. That's what it says.
Well, see, Dennis, when it just says artists, the first name is the penciler, the second is the inker.
There you go.
You know, Yellow Jacket, best Avenger.
Favorite of mine, Val says.
Yellow Jacket, best Avenger ever. Why? Because he knew how to keep his wife in line, if you know what I mean.
Wow.
Are you showing another one or no?
Yeah, I can show another one right away. I mean, since I got it out. It's the one right after it. It's 157.
Oh, I've got that one.
Yeah, Don Heck did the art on this one.
Did he? Maybe that's why I bought it. Who did the inking? Let's see if you can tell. Amish Ninja says Last Mohicans was a movie with Daniel Day-Lewis and Madeline Stowe. That's right. Great actor
Conway,
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Writer and editor Don Heck, guest artist, it says. And then Pablo Marcos is inking.
Pablo. I know Pablo. I haven't seen Pablo in about 20 years. He was a good guy.
Yeah.
Pablo. All right, now I'll go. Boop. I picked up for $3 total, $1.50 each. These two books I'm about to show sold originally for $3.95. Elektra Magazine 1 and 2. These reprint 4 issues of Daredevil. And of course, the Daredevil where Elektra gets skewered by Bullseye. Had to get these. I've got the original issues. I've got the trade paperbacks. And now I've got these for the spin rack. Oh, Frank Miller, Klaus Janson doing some goodness right there. Look at that gorgeous Elektra. Good times. Had to pick these up. Let's see, which one is this? This number 1. And, nice Claudio Castellini cover. So that's cool. I like Claudio's work. So yeah, so I definitely had to get these just because I just love what Frank Miller and Klaus were doing at the time. Great work. Klaus was rocking it on the inks and colors. So had to get that. And of course, the shot of all shots. Oh yeah, right there. Bullseye sticking it to the ladies. Yeah, right through her. I saw that as a kid and was just blown away. Like, whoa.
That was cool.
And then, of course, there's just the beautiful shot of Bullseye when he's still in prison. And the way he broke out of prison in this book was fantastic. No spoilers here. I won't tell you how. But just love that shot.
It was very reminiscent of how Andy broke out of prison. And they still haven't caught him.
No. And even with these live streams, that's how dumb they are. So, all right, let me switch over to you. There you go.
All right. So 158. Like I said, I got a bunch of them in this. This is Jim Shooter wrote it. Sal was the artist on it. And since you want to see the splash page.
Oh, yeah. I have that one, I think, because I really dig that splash page. Oh, no, wait. I think I either have it or I have the trade paperback that it's in. Val says you guys need to do some D&D comic reviews if there's such a thing. There is such a thing, but only one of us reads them, and that would be Dennis. So
the funny thing is, I actually have all the original Forgotten Realms AD&D ones, and they still put them out. I do like the original classic ones a little bit better. And then 159, like I said, these were ones that I had at one time, and I decided I'm just going to go back and get them. I do like these. Jim Shooter, Sal, and different cover artist. So
Gil Kane. Let's see that splash page. Oh, yeah. Look at that. That is good times.
Stealth and Storm.
Stealth, and that is good times. All right. I'm back. I already had this book, but I didn't have this black and white variant cover by a buddy of mine and a fantastic artist. Justice League #1, when they redid it a few years back with Jimmy Chung art. Jimmy Chung, fantastic artist. Love his work. And for $1.50, I'll take the black and white variant cover to put in my box. So there you go. Love it. And Jimmy did do the inside. Now, if this whole book was black and white, that would be awesome. But it's not. Just the cover. But it's cool. So there you go. There you go. That's right. Fight between Vision and Wonder Man.
Very cool. My next one is 160. Then I have to skip a few.
That's George Perez, isn't it?
Yeah, look at that. There's
on the inside as well.
Here. Jim Shooter, George Perez.
Pablo, I bet.
And then, since you all want to see it.
Oh, yeah. I think it's Pablo. Yep, Pablo doing the inks, baby. Good times.
Like I said, great Avengers run. There were some good prices on them. Nothing to complain about at all. We really did get some great books at decent prices for as many people that was there. This one is issue 164.
GP again, I presume. At least the cover.
Yeah. Let's see. Artist.
Amish Ninja says, nice to see Dennis picking up some great old Avengers comics instead of that X-Men garbage. Oh, it's John Byrne.
Yep.
I can't believe he said that about you. Oh, wait, he edited his comment, so he took that part out.
It's barely like you didn't even ad-lib for him.
No, he edited it, so you can't see that part of the comment anymore.
Oh, okay. No, Chad is... Amish Ninja is a big Avengers fan, so...
Wow, way to dock somebody's screen name just like that. Damn.
I can't help it.
Shows you just don't care.
Oh, and then that was the 30 cent. They do have a 35-cent version of that one, but I didn't get that.
Oh, which one's worth more?
Which one's between the two? Yeah, the 35-cent variant's gonna... It's harder to get, so it'd be worth more.
Oh, all right. Well, I got a reprint book here for $1.50 from that guy. Marvel Super Action starring Captain America. Always thought the cover on the original was cool. And, well, this is it anyhow. And this is, of course, Jack Kirby, the Kirby Meister. Right there. This reprints issue 106, and it is just bombastic Jack right out of the gate. Look at that. Cap goes wild. That's right, you've heard Girls Gone Wild. Well, when Captain America goes to Miami, it's Cap goes wild. Maybe he'll take his shirt off for you. You never know. So, yeah, so he gets into a fight with some dude here that looks just like him. I love it. I will be reading this. I love these Marvel Super Action reprints, especially for $1.50.
I know, and I love the fact that you showed the Clark bar. Everybody have a Clark bar.
That's right. Nothing beats a Clark bar.
You know, I was just going to do batches, but these are so many. These are just good books. I can't help it.
Yeah, we got about 8 hours, so don't worry about it.
Jim Shooter.
So who drew that one?
Perez.
Who drew that? Who drew the inside?
Jim Shooter wrote it, and George Perez.
Nice. Probably Pablo on the inks again. Let's see. Lift it up some. Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's a good one. Look at that. First Blood. Oh, now we know where Rambo stole the name from.
And then I jump up to 172. So I'm only missing, I think, one in that little run now. And that's issue 170. So I will be in the hint for that one. Jim Shooter.
Now you're just copying me, because at a previous convention I picked that one up, and Dennis was like, "I gotta get it so I can be as cool as Andy."
Yes, said no one ever.
You did, and that is Sal Buscema and Klaus Janson. Return of Hawkeye to the group. You got a good deal, because supposedly that's a key issue that I paid about $8 for at the previous convention. So
yeah, Hawkeye returns. It is an issue. It is important when he comes back. Marcus says an Austin inked cover.
Those Avenger books are awesome between the Byrne and Perez art. You can't go wrong. No, that was good teaming.
It was.
I mean, it would have been great if Perez could have done them all, but that's good stuff. Val wants to know, are they Silver Age? I believe they still are, aren't they?
These would be late 70s. So, no.
So they're bronze?
Yeah. Look at that.
So they're not Silver Age, they're Bronze Age.
Dan is hopping in to see some great pickups. So welcome, Dan.
Unlike Dennis, I keep the bags and boards that my books came in, because I got no disrespect for them. I'm not going to pull these out, but these were talked about on an episode of the Brofessionals a couple weeks ago when I hosted. Mr. Miracle 23, 24, and 25. Early Michael Golden artwork on the interiors. I believe the last issue, 25. I can't. That looks like a Michael Golden cover on the last issue. The last two issues are the first issue is inked by Joe Giella. Very hard to tell it's Michael Golden. These last two issues, though, were inked by Russ Heath. You can really tell it's Michael Golden. Love these. Had which one of these? I had this one as a kid. Don't know what happened to it. So for $1.50 a piece, can't go wrong. Oh wait, no, these were actually $2 a piece, like they say. So I take it back. $2 a piece from a different dealer. So still good stuff. Michael Golden. Agent Cub says, how did your book do on Kickstarter? It did great. It did great. About 4,600 and change. Just adds to the kitty of the total. So the 80,000 stretch goal is unlocked. We're over 83,000 total. So we're moving on up. Moving on up. Voyager says, who's hosting Professionals? That would be the Art to Bear tonight. I can't give away what the topic is, even though I do know. So you'll have to tune in to Art to Bear's channel tonight to find out.
Ooh, very nice.
All right. Big D, you're up.
Okay, starting to run low on these boys. But
Dennis loves the fact that his name is Dennis, so I can call him Big D, because if his name was Ed, nobody would ever call him Big D. Oh, I got that one.
We have a guy that comes on that comments once in a while. His name is Big D on there, so if he shows up, you have to be careful. You might confuse people.
Look at Agent Cub asking me what the topic is. I can't tell you what the topic is. You got to just tune in tonight. That's a great issue, though.
It is a great issue, and I do like this. Anytime.
Oh, yeah, well, I like it because
Adventure's Table.
Captain Marvel's there, too.
Yep. The good Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
And then this one I had to quick flip through just to see. It is issue 174, but I had to see which version. They do make a Mark Jewelers variant on this one. So I hadn't opened these since I got them. I got them yet, but I mean, it's got the collector in it. Yeah.
Is it the Mark Jewelers variant?
It is not, and I do need. I don't specifically hunt for the Mark Jeweler variants, but I do like having some of the Mark Jeweler. I do in the X-Men. I've got some of the Mark Jeweler variant ones. I mean,
is that back to George Perez?
It is. It is. George
Nice.
is back in the house.
Nice. Marmot says, what's Art's channel called? Maybe Randy can find the link for Art's channel and post it. I don't know off the top of my head. I subscribe to his channel. Leg Kick says, no Starlin stuff. I didn't get any Starlin stuff this weekend. No. But there are a few Starlin books I want to look for because our buddy Drew Geraci on his channel dropped a video I watched on Sunday night about hidden Starlin gems where he did a few fill-in issues. And they just came out back in the 70s, and they're nice looking stuff. There you go. Thank you, Randy. That is Art's channel. So now you can find it. Nice Marmot. All right. Are you going again, or am I?
No, go ahead.
I got this book. I only own a couple issues of Star Wars. Na, 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 na. I got this Star Wars. I've got issue, I think it's 38, the Michael Golden issue, of course. And I got, I already owned that issue for years. I bought this issue because my daughter collects Funko Pops. And she bought some pop. I think it's a droid. And the droid's first appearance was in this issue. So I thought it'd be cool to get. I'm keeping it because it was drawn by Carmine Infantino, inked by Terry Austin. So that's a different team up. So I picked it up. It was $10. I think I got it for a little less than that. Agent Cub says, were you guys set up at the con or just attending? Nope. I was a guest there, so we were set up. Had our DNA show banner, had my banner, and all that stuff. Blue Boy says, I got a nice cold Bud Light to watch today's show. Nice. So you're having water during the day. That's good. Water keeps you hydrated.
You know, the one funny thing, we were all sitting around talking about beer. And, we have such different tastes in beers, but we did find one beer that all of us like, not just tolerate, like Killian's Red. So, Amish Ninja, I know you're going to love to hear that. Everybody was a Killian's Red fan, so love to hear that when we can come together on an issue.
That's right. That is true. Oh, yeah, it's your turn.
Yeah, I got a couple left on these.
Oh, for the love of God.
Issue, I said I did a nice job of filling in some of the
I know.
Avengers that I needed.
I remember watch you bring him back to the booth and looking at him going, damn, it was an Avengers weekend for Dennis.
It kind of was. For that, and the guy had such a good price on him. This one is not a great quality cover. It's got a tear in it, a nice one, but yeah, it's a holder issue. It was a cheap book, and it's still pretty cool. So 179. Tom DeFalco wrote that one. Jim Mooney. And then we jump
Look at that. Grey Wolf says, I've never heard of Killian's Red. Dude, Killian's Red's been around forever. I was drinking that in my early 20s.
Look at that. Dan even likes it. Bam!
Yeah, see? We have not found one person yet that doesn't like Killian's Red. I will ask the professionals tonight. Now, Aaron Lopresti doesn't count because he doesn't drink beer. So
okay. Yeah, find out. I'm curious. So, maybe if you guys all come down for Heroes, maybe we'll bring Killian's. I know I'll probably start stocking it in the fridge now since I know it's a good all-around beer for everybody. 183. Right. There's another one that I needed to fill in a hole. John Byrne did the artwork on the inside, and I'll show you this.
George Perez did the cover, baby.
He did.
And I think that's Klaus Janson on inks. Is it? I can't tell. It looks like it, but I'm saying I can't read the credits.
Klaus Janson.
Yeah, Klaus is the man.
It. And I love the fact Beast just sitting on the chair, just chatting in his Beast pose. And the last one that I've got out of the Avengers. So everything that I bought Avengers was basically pre-200. I wound up with issue 197.
Nice. And Super Jerry says, only Yingling for me now. And I do like Yingling. So I do enjoy good Yingling. Moromi, hello. What is going on?
I'm not a huge Yingling fan. I wouldn't go out of my way to order it. But I have a relative who drinks it. So when I go over, I would drink that one.
You don't put your nose up at it like a snob?
Not like I do Bud Light. Or Miller Lite, or Busch Light, or anything.
Bud Light's gross. Ooh, does that say Carmine Infantino for the pencils? What's that say? No, layouts.
Yeah.
Who did the finishes?
Layouts is, Carmine. Jack's Little Helpers is the finished art.
Oh, boy. That would be a lot of inkers working on one book. That'd be a fun one to go through to see if we can figure out who did the inks on it.
Carmine got the official credit on it, but it was a group
effort.
What about Root Beer Light? Now, if you're talking the alcoholic version, there is an alcoholic. There's a couple of them out there that are alcoholic root beers. I have tried them, and I enjoy them. My wife's uncle was a drunken drink that swill Milwaukee's best. Oh, yeah. Old Milwaukee, on the other hand, that was the college beer of choice. We did that by the keg, by the half barrel.
Nice. Oh, look at that. Rubenstein, Milgram, and Austin inked it. Nice. Look at that. Blackjack knows.
And I'm willing to bet Blackjack didn't even look it up. He probably knew it off the top of his head.
Yeah. So I got one that Dennis would have bought if I didn't buy it first. Avengers 152. From the same dealer. Drawn by John Buscema. Inked by Joe Sinnott. Love that team. Love Big John on the Avengers. So that is why I got this one. It is still on the bagging board and will remain that way until I read it. So there you go. Amish Ninja says, is Dennis going to show what he found for me? He already did. He started off the show that way, saying, I got this for my buddy, it's only going to cost him $100. And I was like, Dennis, I thought you paid 50 at the show. And he was like, shut up.
Yeah,
There goes
Chad,
my profit.
he already knows. So, Andy, you could be mean. But Chad, yes, I already showed it. It was the very first book, and I did tell him it was for you.
He did. He did.
Now, we've been having a lot of discussions lately about a particular book. And I had decided, you know what? It just feels like a rip-off book.
Nice. Star Hunters. He got Star Hunters #1. He got #1. Now I don't have it. Some of the books I picked up are sitting downstairs for me to read later. So I don't have it up here. But good news, everybody. I know you're hanging on the edge of your seats. I did find Star Hunters #2 to complete my run of 1 through 7 of Star Hunters. Now Dennis is so jealous now. It's not even funny.
Well, it's funny. I saw they actually had a run of them there, and I was like, yeah, I'm just going to pick up #1 just because it is still, to me. Now, here's the interesting question. Because Star Hunters, it does remind me a lot of, and I think I'm right on this, it does remind me a lot of Star Jammers. It's like, how Marvel and DC always copy each other. Star Jammers came out in 77. That's when their first appearance was. So I had to look this one up. This one came out in November of 77. So I'm going to be curious to see who ripped who off. So if any of you guys know, was it Star Hunters that was technically first? Because they both appeared in the first in the same year. That is.
I would have to say it was probably Star Jammers, because DC usually had the old deal of ripping Marvel off.
See, never heard of it.
Well, now you need to go find it.
Collectors haven't heard of it.
You shut your mouth. What's up, Eric Hutfuls? You shut that dirty mouth, Dennis. Nobody wants to hear it. Are you showing another one?
I will show another one because this one is not, give me 1 second here. I'm going to pull this bad boy up just to see it. I found a book that, it just takes me back. I saw reruns as a kid. It's still, I didn't even open it. I'm assuming it's complete. It was just one of those things. McHale's Navy. I mean, this was a show that I used to watch with my dad. I mean, I was a huge Ernest Borgnine fan, and, Tim Conway being in the show. This was just great stuff. I had never seen a McHale's Navy on anybody's wall before, and this wasn't on a wall. It was in with a bunch of the books. Bam! I absolutely.
So you have yet to see a McHale's Navy on somebody's wall. Blackjack says, I've added Star Hunters to my want list since you guys talked about it last time. The artwork is great.
My. Look at that.
And McHale's Navy, where's that comment from the beginning that said this went gay quick? Oh.
How would McHale's Navy be gay? Wow. You are a twisted warp of what's man. Give me your damn man card right now. Show everybody your man card on the screen and then cut it in half.
Randy Howell, Star Hunters, November 1977. First appearance of Star Jammers, April 1977.
Thank you, Randy. Thank you. There we go. Star Jammers wins once again, and I am happy about that one.
Now, you're not seeing double. I got 2 copies of Avengers 171 at the show. I only needed one. And what happened was I found the $10 one first. And was like, I know it's a kind of a key type thing. That's a good deal. I talked the guy down a little bit, so I bought it. And then looking through that guy's stuff, who was $3, or buy one, get one on Sunday for $1.50, he had one. So I said, you know what? That pisses me off so much. I'm buying that one too. One's going on the spin rack. One's going in the box. Dennis, when he's here on Wednesday for our show, is going to look at both of them, tell me which one's in better condition, and that one goes away, and the other goes on the spin rack. And the reason I got it, I'll show you. I'll actually open up the cheaper one. Besides the fact it's George Perez, it's just cool. The ants are going wild, and there's a pretty nice shot in here.
Marcus says, I remember McHale's Navy, and Agent come. How can you say McHale's Navy is gay? Exactly. Thank you, guys. And
it's not. I used to watch it.
Never owned a man card.
I used to watch McHale's Navy.
Wow.
I like McHale's Navy. Doesn't mean, I can't.
Like it. Wow, you sound like Budweiser, changing your tune. Next show, you're going to have Clydesdales going across the screen saying how American Andy is now.
No, the difference is McHale's Navy, the TV show, was great. McHale's Navy, the comic book, gay.
Wow. There is nothing at all. That is just terrible. Terrible. Tim Conway, rest in peace. He's turning over in his grave.
Tim Conway was great. Ernest Borgnine, wasn't he the main guy?
Well, they're all on the
shot?
ship.
Hold
There
on.
was no main guy. It was the captain and yeah.
That's what I mean.
They're all main guys.
All right. You know what I mean. All right. I can't find it, but I tell you, it doesn't matter because this splash page is just too cool for school. So, George Perez.
Oh, it's on regular TV now. That's cool.
No, it's on MeTV.
And this is the moment the chat turned against Andy.
Oh, come on now. Let's not get silly.
And Val even
Let's
said,
not get our panties in a bunch over McHale's Navy.
Well, you started it, picking on our great servicemen and those who act.
No, I was picking on the fact that you bought a McHale's Navy comic book. Big difference. Big difference. That can go right next to your Bionic Woman. Okay, your turn.
All right. I, of course, was a big Ren and Stimpy fan. I used to have the run. I did it. They did have it with, of course, the free air fowler enclosed. I picked one up again. I mean, you got to be able to have a Ren and Stimpy. Happy, happy, joy, joy. So, yeah, that's awesome.
Now, are you going to take it out of the poly bag?
No.
Wow.
If I want to read one again, I'll just go pick one up. The nice thing is they're cheap enough. I'll get one where I can read it. This one's enclosed. The air fowler is still intact. Man, you open that up, it's going to smell like your deodorant. Damn, that's bad.
My pits. My pit juice.
Check that one out. Badger number one. Another number one. And another one that was in great shape. I'll tell you, I've seen so many copies of Badger number one, but when they're in this nice a shape, I just have it in my heart. I will pick up a good copy whenever I can.
Wait a second. Are you saying you already own a Badger number one?
Yeah.
So now you have two Badger number one. Oh, that's cool. Jeff Butler on art and the great Mike Barron creation. So.
Yep. That is my second near mint one.
Was that $1.51 too?
Yes, it was. Love it.
Nice. Now I can honestly say if I would have seen it, I would have grabbed it, but I'm glad you got it. Oh, that's right. Dennis's Bionic Woman is actually a fleshlight. Get it. I got it.
Wow. Why are you guys picking on the Bionic Woman now?
Andy
and Dennis kind of look like Ren and Stimpy. That's right. I am, of course, the handsome one.
All right, I got 5 books left. These, I definitely had to fill in some holes in my Avengers, except these were a little pricier. I did not pay what the sticker says because I bought all these next books from a same guy. I needed Avengers 97. It's the last issue of the Kree Skrull War. John Buscema, Tom Palmer. So I got that. Let's see. Put that underneath. It's your turn.
So since you guys are bringing up this awesome comic known as the Bionic Woman, I did find one, and there's 5 issues in this series, and I got several of I got a couple of the number one, of course, number one signed by the ever beautiful Lindsay Wagner. But man, do I have a hard time picking up the rest of them. Number 5 was the last one in the series. For this, it's only a 5 issue series on it. I absolutely love this. Jack Sparling was the artist on it. I'm missing issue number 3, and then I have the entire run of Bionic Woman, so I do need that. And speaking of what I found out, so I did pick up Defenders number 100 just because it's in such great shape. I just did an upgrade on mine. I thought I was missing an old Defenders, and I started going through my list, and I realized I filled them in. So I went through my whole list. I am missing Defenders issue number 112, a completely random issue that I can't believe I don't own. And once I get that issue number 112, nobody had it there because it's a know-nothing issue. It'll be in a dollar box somewhere. I will have completed my Defenders run with issue 112. So that will be my one book that I absolutely have to run in for.
It'll be interesting to see who finishes first with the small run. Will you get your one issue of Bionic Woman before I get the last issue I need of Captain Action? I don't have it here. It's inside the house, but I picked up Captain Action I think it was number 3. So now all I need, I believe, I have it written down, or it's on my phone, but I believe I just need number 4 or 5. Point is, I need one issue of Captain Action to complete that run. Dennis needs one Bionic Woman. Who will win?
We'll find out at the next show. Love that Charlton bought some olds for me to print their comics, right? Yep, and look at Agent Cub would have bought that Bionic Woman. Of course, everybody in their right mind would have bought that Bionic Woman.
Yeah, now, but Agent Cub's not taking it into the bathroom with him. All right, next.
Next, I'm just going to show a group after you're done. I'll wait till you're
done. Okay. I'm just going to group. Let's see. I'm going to group these last 3 and then save, I guess you could say, the coolest one for last. So like I said, filling in some holes. I got Avengers 98, first Barry Windsor Smith issue of Avengers, and then I needed 101. Oops, I didn't put 98 down. That's 98. There it is. And then I needed 101 and 102 as well. So I have a nice string of Avengers now around those early 90s up to 100. So very glad I got these. These are Rich Buckler drawn and Joe Sinnott inks. Rich during his Neil Adams phase. So had to get them. Got them. I got it. Very happy about getting those. Very much looking forward to sitting down and looking at them. And look at this comment. Super Jerry says, I think I have that Bionic Woman number 3 you're missing. And for you, $500.
You are awesome. I hope you got the rest of them. I mean, those are just great comics. I finished off I think I've got all the $6 Million Mans, and I was also doing the Space 1999 runs. I love those runs in the Charlton ones. And I just need some of the Space 1999 magazines. That's kind of what I'm missing. I do like a lot of the sci-fi, which really goes hand in hand with these bad boys. Babylon 5 was one of my favorite sci-fi shows. I thought it was so incredibly well written, dealing with Earth and Minbar and Centauri Prime, the Vorlons, J. Michael Straczynski. I love the show. The special effects were okay for what they were, but it was such good writing. I had a smattering of them, so I picked up. They're hard to find. I now have the first 8, so I'm missing 9, 10, and 11. And the then I will have the complete run of Babylon 5. So I have decided, because so many of them, I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but these are in such nice shape. And even when I do find them, they're in garbage shape usually. So, man, I was tickled pink to be able to pull down. So, yeah, I snagged a whole bunch of the Babylon 5. So, hat off to, that was Sam Finley from Hate Kids Comics. He had some great comics sitting over there. So, oh, now I see a good question. Val says, wow, Babylon 5. By the way. And Dennis, Babylon 5 or Deep Space Nine?
Oh, snack.
That actually is a really good question. Babylon 5 as a whole show, I think, was just phenomenal all the way around. Deep Space Nine, especially when you're dealing with the war seasons and stuff, was some of the deepest, some of the best storylines. For an entire series, I would probably barely eke out Babylon 5, even though the special effects weren't good because the writing was just so enjoyable in it. But Deep Space Nine had some of the best seasons. So kind of half and half depending on how you're asking it.
This is a good question. Do you think new comics would sell today if they looked like the comics that came out in the 70s and 80s? I actually do. I think the covers were better back then. They were story-driven covers. I think visually, the way the logos were placed and things like that, they just look like comics. Now, it's difficult because I'm biased, and so is Dennis, because that's when we grew up and that's when we were buying them and stuff. You know, I look at the comics that come out today, and the covers are one, they're mostly pinups. Two, they're just, I don't know, they're just so polished and stuff, and it's not bad, but it's not what I picture, I guess, in my head. I don't know. I'd like to think they would sell. What do you think, Dennis?
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think the stuff today is more polished. It's more, it's more formulaic. I think the older stuff, and I think the problem is I am, like you, kind of tainted from the standpoint that I grew up in this, and to me it's some of the best stuff. I mean, the 60s are really my golden age. I think the 60s are phenomenal, which is what I had to go back and collect. But the 70s and 80s, the stuff, even the stuff that I used to have, even the Star comics, like Visionaries and things like that, that at the time you're like, why do that when you have G.I. Joe and Transformers and Avengers and X-Men and yada yada? Even now looking back on it, everything was good except for NFL Super Pro, but everything else was really good.
I've got the whole run of NFL Super Pro, and once again, your ugly jealousy is showing. Your hatred is showing. All right, my last book. This book, a little tease, not originally, but came out last year, I believe, as one of the Dollar True Believer books. And I never saw it before. And I had to I was like, you know what? I want to get that original issue. Needless to say, not every issue in this run was a key book. This one was, so it was a little costly. I didn't pay $30 for it like it says. I paid a little less, but it's the Supernatural Thrillers #3, featuring The Valley of the Worm by Robert E. Howard. It was drawn by Gil Kane and Ernie Chan on inks. It's very nice. And like I said, I got the True Believers that I can look at any time, so I want to get a nice clean copy of it for the collection, and I did. And I'm just glad I did. And there you go. That is my last one. Let's see. Bounce you over here.
Visionaries was a great cartoon.
Eric says, if you look at manga and how they were presented, it's very similar to how 70s, 80s American comics felt, emphasis on action and story. Yeah, I can agree with that. because they definitely don't focus on that. Blackjack says, I remember when NFL Super Pro came out, it was going for ridiculous money for a while. Well, there you go. Well, I did not pay ridiculous money to get the whole thing.
And then for
Nintendo
decades,
Ginger, hello.
find them in the dollar bin. And now they're going back up because it's at that right period of time where everything was good from that era.
That's right.
So I also picked up a couple of Star Wars books that I used to have. Dark Empire. I don't know why I decided to pick them up. I think it's because, I am watching Mandalorian and Picard and, seeing, all the great stuff. Mandalorian has been up and down this season, but this last episode was so good. Grand Admiral Thrawn coming out through Ahsoka, which is my favorite trilogy of novels reading. And they're hinting that those could be, I'm going to take a stab that they're Dark Jedi. So that is just some absolutely phenomenal story. So anything that's going to deal with the Dark Empire stuff, I saw it. I just grabbed it. It was just instinctive. I used to own it all. I got rid of it when I was so pissed at Star Wars. I'm regretting because now they're starting to pull from it. And this was another one it was like a heartstring kind of a buy. Quantum Leap, Scott Bakula, Sam Beckett. Man, how do you go wrong with Al and Sam even in a comic book? I just had to. This was just good stuff. So, yeah, I did pick that one up.
It's like Ollie's. Good stuff, cheap.
Was Dark Empire the first Star Wars series from Dark Horse? That's a good question because that would have came out in 91. And I don't when did Marvel end theirs? That is a great question. Don't know. Maybe somebody could look it up while we're on stream.
Yep, I do not know either. Is that it, Dennis?
No.
Oh, good God. All right, hold on.
I did get Kabuki. Again, it's just one of those. Did I need it? No, but I do remember it back in the day, Wizard 1/2. I used to have it. I grabbed it again. I couldn't help myself. Eric's like, I believe so. They may have done some newspaper reprints first. Just found you on Twitter, Dennis, and follow. Well, thank you. I do some posting and stuff like that. So I did pick up a couple of. Now I picked up a number of books here. And last time I found a great one. I wound up giving it to Mr. Dan Fraga because he needed it, and I already had it. But this time around, I got Micronauts 2 and 3, the earlier ones. Both of them were signed by Michael Golden. So I was like, I do own both the Micronauts already, but I don't have them signed. I got them signed.
That's right.
And then for the rest, I am filling holes in my Micronauts. I did get a 14 because I am going to finish this run as well. I got a 14. I got 16. And these I'll pull out. I got to catalog all these and stuff later. An 18. Love this stuff. Again, this is from that time frame. I enjoyed everything that they put out. This time period, ROM Space Knight, one of my favorites from this time era. I think it was released when the cover prices were 40 cents with number 1.
Super Jerry wants to know what your Twitter handle is.
Oh, here, I'll pull it up it's actually right on my screen.
Oh, yeah.
But for some reason they're not on. There they are.
Because there was a comment.
There they are.
Micronauts.
That's me.
They get tiny and large.
So I did pick those up. I did pick up An Avengers annual 8. So I did have one more Avengers because I, for some reason, didn't have an 8. I could have swore I did. And then my final purchase of the entire show, I had a really cool book that I wound up picking up, and it filled in a hole that I had trying to tighten up that whole run of it, and then somebody defiled it. So, but I'll still show it to you guys anyway.
It filled a hole in your heart. Oh yeah, baby, you saw that, huh?
I did. I was showing my wife the comics. She always likes to look at the comics that I got. I think it's more to find out how much I spent. But then I pulled it out, and of course, yes, Andy Smith, and I get in there, and look, this is what he put. To Dennis, XXOO. Susie just started laughing. I'm like, damn it. He defiled it. I told him not to specifically sign this until 4 of my Quasar 50s were signed. But no.
He said, don't sign this because then he said, don't personalize it because then I can't sell it. So I signed it for him.
Yeah, and I had a guy walk up and go, oh, I'll give you $0.25 for that. And I'm like, oh, sold. Oh, wait, he wrote on that. Never mind.
Exactly.
Nah, guys, we had an absolutely blast at the convention. We did a lot of shopping. I know Dan Fraga snagged some great stuff, and I don't know. Hopefully, he'll get a chance to talk about it. I don't think Bud did anything. Bud Root was there. He was busy working very diligently on an Electra. First time he had drawn an Electra for Sam. We had a great time with that, and once again, Rob and Michelle put on a fantastic show. And for those of you wondering, because we always talk up that show because it's so fun, next year's guest artist, big drum roll, Jim Lee. We got Jim Lee in for next year. So, yeah, that's a no-brainer. So all you Jim Lee fans, it will be worth the trip to Greenville, South Carolina for that show.
That's right. For the 10th anniversary of South Carolina Comic-Con. Special big guest, Andy Smith, and then Jim Lee's going to be there as well.
That's right. And we did get to check out the new Borderlands store that Rob opened up since we missed the grand opening. Everybody, comic books, role-playing games, tabletop games, collectible card games. It is fantastic. It's huge. There's places to play. And he picked up. We will at some point be doing a special DNA live stream. We're gonna work it out to go do it from his location because he bought a huge Dungeons and Dragons grandmother load Holy Grail set that gave me goosebumps when he was explaining it to me. And we will be doing a special show live from there on that. We will let you know when in advance.
That's right. But, guys, Kor-Drath the Reckoning, 76 pages, bombastic barbarian action. When Kor-Drath and Adriana come back to Kor-Drath's tribe and find everybody in the tribe slaughtered, oh, he's pissed off. And there's going to be a reckoning. And he's bringing the pain. If you like Dungeons and Dragons, Game of Thrones, and Conan, you will like this exciting adventure tale. It'll keep you on the edge of your seat. I'm having the time of my life working on it. Kelsey Shannon, I apparently showed off some of it on his stream today. Thank you very much, Kelsey. I really appreciate that. Guys, go check it out. $78,433, 1,286 backers. You add in the $4,600 we pulled in from Kickstarter. We're at $83,000 and change. Working towards the next stretch goal of $90,000. Guys, if you haven't backed this yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. Go get it. Once we hit 90,000, everybody will get the 7x10 character card featuring the Necronite with playable stats on the back. That's right, playable stats, because there is a game module that Dennis is writing for this campaign as well. So you can not only read the book, but you can play the game. Cover art by Bart Sears and Dan Lawless. We've got 5 different covers to choose from. You get yourself a beanie if your little head gets cold. The Lilith t-shirt with art featuring Lilith drawn by Bud Root, colored by Dan Lawless. Of course, the main man himself on a t-shirt, Kor-Drath, The Reckoning, right there. We are so proud of this campaign and all the, we're just putting our all into it. And you can read the first 8 pages. You can go to the website to find out more about it. And honestly, guys, thank you so much for your support. We could not have done this without you guys.
Eric, it's not a Grand Dragon set, so think of some of the holy grails in D&D. The original white box sets, not the red ones, the original white ones. He got multiples, plus the granddaddy of them all, which I won't talk about. Plus he got original artwork from back in the 70s from it. Guys, great stuff. So we will let you know.
Josh says it's awesome that the Bud Root monster that he drew on his covers in the book. You know it. We saw it. And we were like, that needs to be in the book, and he is in the book. So you will get to see that.
He will make an appearance as well in the module. I will tease you with that.
Yeah. Nice tease. Nice tickling of the Bojangles there, big guy.
Like I said,
lots
guys,
of different stuff.
The module isn't just to replay the story. It's a completely different story. You're going to get introduced to a new tribe that's in there. It'll just expand the existing area and the lore that's in there. So they go hand in hand. So pick them both up.
Yep. Get yourself something a little special. If you've already backed it, like I said, go get yourself a t-shirt. You can add on the Lilith trading card for no shipping. So,
hey, Joe, it says you guys should have Kor-Drath design dice. I have looked into it. Trust me, that was definitely one of them. We have a real difficult time with customizing dice. So if anybody knows a way around it, we were looking at cost of 40-some bucks a set just for cost. It's not shipping. That's nothing else. So if you guys know somebody that can do them, on a great way, and we could figure out a way to make it work, great. But at that cost, there's no way. No way. It's just, unfortunately, a bummer.
There you go. Joe Bernardo, thank you so much for that compliment. Let me just do that real quick. Some of your most outstanding art. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. There's the link. And what did you show? Is this the one you had up? I can't remember.
This one.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, I have watched the Eye of the Beholder, Art of D&D. It goes through the 4 Horsemen. It is a phenomenal. If you guys enjoy that, once they got out, because really the original D&D artwork were guys from high school and stuff like that, anybody that could draw it. That's why it holds a big piece of the heart, because literally it was like us sitting around school drawing it, and they printed it. But man, when you had the big 4 Horsemen easily, oh my God, so some of the artwork that these guys came out with, this goes through the entire history of it. I think it was on Amazon. Watch that, you guys, if you enjoy that stuff.
Are you guys reaching out to some of the D&D people, especially the ones that are mad at Hasbro? I don't know how to be honest. We want to expand the reach of this campaign as much as we can, but we're up for any ideas. If you guys have contact information for people, please let us know. I don't know how to get a hold of
it depends on what you mean by the D&D crowds. If you guys know people that want us to come in and talk in the D&D realms, because it's all role-playing stuff, I am open for it. I am, you guys, for the module is going to be kind of an interesting one because of everything going on with Hasbro. But a lot of you guys have talked to me about, will I eventually create this in a role-playing world? There's been so many of you. The answer is yes. I will be. And one of the things that I am doing is I'm definitely going to be using the index card role-playing game. This is an incredibly fun. I've already gotten the rights. I've talked to them so that I can publish everything from the Shattered Reach using this rule system. I mean, I've been role playing for since the early 80s. And this is one of the most fun games I got turned on. Matter of fact, Joe Bernardo, he's the one who got me looking at the Easy D6, and these are all from Runehammer. I absolutely love this, and the fact that it isn't just this highly intricate set of rules. It is a basic set of rules that allows you to flesh out an entire world. It's going to go great hand in hand. So I will be utilizing this coming up in the future. So anyway, if that helps you guys out, but any thoughts that you have, shoot me a message. Love to hear from you guys. You guys are always very knowledgeable and forthcoming. Love hearing from you.
Yes. And guys, thank you again for joining us this afternoon quickly as we went through this stuff. We both have stuff we have to get back to, but we want to pop in and do the good old comic book haul for you guys. I might have to play a role-playing game. I can do that. I role-play with Dennis.
That's right. So make sure if you guys don't, make sure you if you're on Andy's channel, make sure you follow mine at the DNA show. And if you're on mine, make sure you follow the Andy Smith Art channel. We both put up different stuff on our YouTubes, but when we come together, we both put out great content like this and love chatting with you guys.
Come together right now.
How was Frega? Frega was great. He brought his son with, and he was awesome. Little Harrison, he was so enjoyable to meet. My first time meeting him. We had a blast all weekend long. There was Andy Bellinger from Toronto. We've had him on our show with Mother Trucker. He was just down from us. It was Dan, and then Andy and I, and then Bud right around the corner. We did. We went out to eat, hung out a bunch. It was a great weekend all the way around. Lance Footer was there, Low Light Visions. I haven't seen him in a while. It was great getting caught up. So, guys, it was just a great show.
All right, let's see. Will says, do you guys ever do panels? I have. There wasn't any this weekend that I was on, but I have. Martin, unlike Dennis, likes my singing. Thank you very much. The commission line was fine. I did a few headshots. Dan did some as well. So, there you go. Let me see something here. Nice. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. Quickly, tomorrow, 5 p.m., we will have Clint Helinski on the show to talk about The Superiors, his new project that he launched. It looks fun as hell. So join us for that at 5 p.m., and we will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye, everybody.
Live long and prosper.
Certified badass.